Welcome, welcome, gather round. Welcome to your magical moon message. This is the peace dealer. Sir Oreo brings his regards. I don't have my hair. I cut my hair off. So I know I look exactly like the peace dealer. And that was just me, guys. That was just me acting like Sir Oreo. Anyway, yes, the moon is in Pisces. The sun is in Taurus, and we are concluding this previous Aries cycle. Okay. Good shout out to Esco. He hooked up some skin products. I got some face moisturizer. I haven't used it yet today, but I have some face moisturizer. I got some baby oil, baby powder. Y'all ain't ready for my summer me. Y'all ain't ready. I'm about to be glistening. I'm about to just be smelling, skin looking smooth and clear and all that. Oh, it's over. It's over. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It is what it is. Okay, so this transit I think is gonna be divinely rewarding. Okay, this is the Aquarius signature, 300 to 330 degrees before the balsamic phase in Aries. So we activated the definition of our reimagined self. Neptune in Aries is transcending the concepts that from 2010 to 2018 Uranus innovated. This is what I like to say awakened our supercells. And now Neptune is having us dissolve any boundaries between the concept of who we know we can be to us actually embodying it. So, Neptune's going to be in Aries for a few years. That being said, now that the moon is in Pisces, before it goes over Neptune, that moon Neptune Aries is going to be one for the books. And we're going to have that every 28 days for like the rest of the decade and change. Okay. Beforehand, we are now producing the final experience and effect. So the moon in mutable signs are effects. They establish change. Magic is in the direct experience that provides truth and meaning. And so this is going to enable you to not only change all your beliefs, but it's going to have you feel what rewards you're coming into relative to this definition of your original self updated for this year. Let's say you just updated your profile in Aries season. Now you're manifesting the rewards of this completion of self relative to who you believe deserves to share into this value and wealth you're coming into. So the moon in Aquarius was the knowledge of what value you have accomplished relative to this direction you have taken that first step into. And now the experience of what these rewards are is what's going to happen. And that's what makes this exciting. The rest of this week is closing out the cycle. By next week, we activate the new moon cycle. That's when we're going to plant seeds. That's when we're going to now integrate and really add value. You want to take the rest of this week to reflect, to really imagine what and how you are changing and facilitating to be in a receptive position to receive. Because Pisces is extrasensory perception. It's metaphysical. It's beyond the physical. It's not anything you can tangibly touch. But Taurus is your tangible five senses. So I love Pisces moons with Taurus suns. And I love the transit because this is in effect feeling the unseen and grounding this metaphysical unseen feeling through your imagination, or rather taking the unseen feeling that your imagination allows you to receive and grounding that sensation through your physical five senses. A transit like this develops one's intuitive nature and adds a practical basis around a more irrational, non-linear, astral focus of Pisces that could be all things at once. So this is definitely going to buckle down, focus, and ground what is actually real about more fantastical elements of your own beliefs and imagination. So your beliefs are going to change over the next 2 days. Why? Well, because you're coming into the rewards of the past 3.5 weeks, which is going to change everything you believe around what moving forward you can manifest. And this is going to really show you how skilled you are at instant manifesting now that you are more aligned to this reimagined nature of who you're getting ready to transcend into. This is what's setting up this next era of supernatural development and exploration that up until this point was preparing you to harness more energy than is realistically possible to you and to step into more sci-fi and fantasy-esque nature in a postmodern materialist reductionist world that thinks those of you who live this are fantasy characters. Some of you are reading minds, having precognitive dreams, having more clear instances of telepathy. All things materialist reductionist sciences says is hogwash and bullshit, but you're living it. And it's not some schizophrenic, auditory, or visual hallucination, even though some of you may have to induce that to now strengthen and straighten out the true nature of these capabilities. All right. Of course, what makes something a delusion and just an illusion is that you're feeling it, but there's no basis in reality for you to experience it. You're going to see the congruence. A lot of what you're feeling that is unseen, you're going to start to actually sense tangibly how it actually is tied to reality, versus also seeing what's not real and you being able to discard and release that. This change of beliefs is going to now apply itself when the moon goes into Aries, and now you're understanding how these changed beliefs let go of old understandings of who you feel you are. Because once you're starting to receive, oh, I manifest so much more instantly. Oh, a lot of what I didn't think I could manifest is actively manifesting. Then the version of you that felt you couldn't, you're releasing. So that when you come into the new moon in Taurus, boom, you're updating and innovating these values. The moon will sextile Uranus at the end of Pisces as it conjuncts Saturn in the North Node, realigning you to the karmic understanding of everything you're meant to believe to support and facilitate this development of this evolved sense of yourself. And that's where, unlike when the moon was in Virgo, in Sagittarius, opposing and squaring Jupiter, now we're revisiting how the shifting of your beliefs align with the evolution of your thought process and mindset. Because as you were evolving the thought process and attitude around how much more positive you can think, how much more words accurately support who you are, now we have to make sure you don't have beliefs that hold back these thoughts. You can't be thinking like, oh, I'm the sexiest man ever. Yeah, ain't nobody I can get with anybody. But then like when it comes time to take the action, you have these unconscious beliefs around, but she's not gonna mess with me though. He's not gonna mess with me. No. You need to make sure those beliefs match those thoughts. Like, I know that they are gonna love me. You know what I'm saying? Look at all this sexy chocolate. And listen, if you have to be delusional to do this, be delusional to do this. It's the consistency with which maintaining this to impress your subconscious and reframe your reticular activating system so that this shifts the narrative. And it's going to be a transit like this where you directly experience this change with the grounding of Taurus that doesn't make this conceptual. It's going to feel real. Okay, so really underrated transit, and I think you're definitely going to enjoy it because now with Saturn, there's a totality of everything you're coming into these rewards and understanding how these rewards not only shift your beliefs, but quite literally bring into tangible, practical reality what you've achieved relative to this cycle. Now, Mars in Leo will be quincunxing this moon in Pisces, and the shift of beliefs will transform the approach with which you engage socially and stand your ground. I really like all these whistleblowers coming out, like with James O'Keefe and whatever is happening with the investigation into Claus. I don't follow all these things, but the news does get to me. And a lot of that is Mars and Leo, which in the tarot is the Seven of Wands, which is the whistleblower. Okay, so you're going to see this, carry forth and strengthen over the next month. Pluto opposite the Mars is like the feds visiting James O'Keefe saying, you better not release this information or we might do something. And James O'Keefe saying, bitch, I dare you, bitch. These motherfuckers try to threaten me. I'm releasing this. And shout out to James. You are a true patriot. You are a real one in this day and age. And thank you for your service. This is a clear example of not backing up against actual pressure. I know, people like him may be acting like, yeah, they're courage. They're putting a lot at risk, putting this stuff out. And just like you, standing up for what you believe and standing up for what's right and for what values you're getting ready to maintain. Being willing to accept where you might have to change what you believe to align more with the integrity of what it is you're experiencing. And yeah, I think this is definitely going to prepare for you to transition into this next stage of, once again, more supernatural potential that up until this point was mainly conceptual. Yeah, you believed it, but it's like, what's real about it? How do I actually make real sense of it? And now until Virgo season coming to the eclipse is going to fulfill just that. All right. The sun, of course, is coming more into an exact square with Pluto, which is going to now officially begin integrating the subsequent or previous Sun Pluto conjunction we had in Aquarius January 21st, 2025. Pause for dramatic effect. Okay, so with that being said, now that it's in Taurus 90 degrees, we're integrating for the next 90 days coming into Leo, which is going to take the tangible physiological sensation of your body's auto nervous system and senses, and it's going to take this out of this world supernatural cosmic energy, tapping into the higher potential of your brain, grounding all these concepts through your five senses, and you're going to actually begin to sense more innovation of how this awakened energy over the next 20 years, because every Taurus season for the next 20 years will integrate higher qualities of this, how you're actually feeling your body getting stronger. This is new. We haven't gone through this ever since Pluto came in Aquarius, because when we had it in Capricorn, this was trining and integrating the awakening of our body. Now this is integrating the mental force. This is literally like awakening the force in Star Wars and starting to actually break through and integrate tangible evidence of our physical bodies actually being able to induce the supernatural effect of change in the force. And the moon in Pisces is going to shift your beliefs around how and what you imagine this development is occurring. And that's the rewards of who you are actually producing the effect of the natural quality and strength that you're growing. And that with the new moon in Taurus, you will sow seeds to actually raise the value and strengthen the quality of, at least in a physical sense. All right, I'm going to end this short here. Comment down below what you're excited to receive as far as rewards. Know that everything that you're experiencing is everything you sowed the seeds for 3 weeks ago with the new moon, or really 4 weeks ago with the new moon, integrated 3 weeks ago and began to harvest 2 weeks ago. And prepare for miracles, okay? Because now at this last stage of Pisces, coming out of this end game, a lot of why your beliefs are going to change is that a lot of situations that seemed impossible, you're going to start to see happen in preparation for this new moon of instant manifestation. All right. And it doesn't have to really be instant as much as just aligned. And what's very significant about this is, of course, maybe situations that you thought were impossible, it arrives in a form that's not exactly what you thought you wanted, but maybe even better. Surrender will go a long way here. It could be exactly in the form that you desired, okay? And your willingness to maintain what you believe, even if you don't believe it, you watch the Ultimate Manifestation playlist. I have a link below if you're watching on YouTube. And or just practice the law of assumption. This is a great day to practice the law of assumption. I'm sexy, I'm limitless. I have all money, I have all power, whatever you want to say, right? Whatever you're willing to really facilitate, you're gonna see come rapidly. All right. You stay blessed as always, y'all. And until next time, peace.